Listen to me, man. You got to force yourself. You sitting around waiting on the perfect moment? Ain't no perfect moment. You waiting to feel motivated? Motivation is a myth. You think successful people wake up every day feeling like grinding? No, they force themselves to do it. See, the problem is y'all too comfortable. You waiting for life to get easier, for the stars to align, for somebody to come save you. Let me tell you something. Ain't nobody coming to save you. You got to push past your feelings and get up anyway. You waiting to feel motivated? Motivation is a myth. See, this is where most people mess up. They think one day they're going to wake up and just feel like chasing their dreams, that they're going to magically get this burst of energy and everything going to line up perfectly. That ain't how life works. Let me tell you something. If you only move when you feel like it, you ain't never going to move. You ever notice how you start off excited about something? Maybe it's a new job, a business idea, getting in shape. But first you hype, you ready, you tell everybody this time I'm serious. Then what happens? A few weeks go by, you get tired, life gets hard, distractions come in. And all of a sudden, you ain't feeling it no more. That's the problem. You waiting on a feeling. But success don't care how you feel. Look, the people winning in life, they ain't always motivated. They just move anyway. They force themselves to show up even when they tired, even when they scared, even when they don't see the results yet, because they know something most folks don't. Motivation is temporary, but discipline lasts. See, motivation is like a firework. It shoots up, explodes, looks real pretty, but then it fades out just as fast. Discipline is a fire that keeps burning. It don't depend on how the weather feels, how your mood is, or if things are going your way. Discipline don't need permission. It just does the work. Look at athletes, business moguls, anybody at the top of their game. You think they feel like training every day? You think they feel like grinding 24/7? No. But they do it anyway. You ever seen a boxer in training? He wake up at 5 a.m. to run miles before the sun is up. He tired, his legs hurt. Ain't nobody watching, ain't no crowd cheering, but he does it. You know why? Because he made a decision. He decided before he was tired that he was gonna do what it takes. He ain't waiting to feel ready. He already made up his mind. See, that's the difference between the people who make it and the ones who don't. Winners don't wait on motivation. They force themselves to show up no matter what. You ever wonder why you see people with less talent than you, less skill, less knowledge, but somehow they keep passing you up? It's because they moving while you making excuses. They working while you waiting. They getting results while you still thinking about it. And listen, I get it. You tired, you overwhelmed. You don't know if you got what it takes. But if you let those feelings control you, you'll stay stuck forever. Let me put it to you plain. You either control your feelings or your feelings control you. You either push past how you feel or you let how you feel stop you. Look, God gave you everything you need, but he ain't gonna do the work for you. You gotta take what he gave you and make something out of it. You gotta move even when you don't feel like it, because at the end of the day, success ain't given, it's taken. Listen to me, man. Comfort is the enemy of progress. See, most people out here want success, but they don't want to be uncomfortable. They want to be rich, but they don't want to take risks. They want to be fit, but they don't want to sweat. They want to build something great, but they don't want to struggle. It don't work like that. Let me tell you something. Everything you want is on the other side of discomfort. You ever wonder why so many people stay stuck? Why they never get past a certain level? It's because they too comfortable. They settle. They get a decent job, a decent house, a decent life, and they stop pushing. They tell themselves, this is good enough. See, that's the trap. Comfort tricks you into thinking you're okay where you are. But deep down, you know you want more. Deep down, you got dreams bigger than where you at. But instead of chasing them, you stay where it's safe, where it's familiar, where you ain't got to stretch yourself. But let me ask you something. If you stay in the same place, doing the same things, living the same way, how you ever going to grow? Growth only happens when you step outside your comfort zone, when you take a chance on yourself, when you push past fear, past doubt, past what feels easy. You think successful people got there by staying comfortable? No, they put themselves in situations that forced them to grow. They took risks. They failed, they struggled, but they kept pushing. Look, if you don't challenge yourself, life will do it for you. And trust me, life's lessons are a lot harder than the ones you give yourself. You can either force yourself to be uncomfortable now, or life will make you uncomfortable later. See, people love to talk about how they want success, but the moment it requires sacrifice, the moment it gets hard, they quit. They go right back to their comfort zone. But that's where dreams go to die. Right there in that safe little bubble where you never take a risk, never bet on yourself, never push past what's easy. You ever notice how people who take the easy road end up struggling later? They avoid the hard work now, but 5, 10 years down the road, they're in the same spot watching other people pass them up. Why? Because comfort don't pay off. You think millionaires got there by being comfortable? You think the greats in any field sat back and took it easy? No, they sacrificed. They worked when they didn't feel like it. They stayed up late, woke up early, made the tough choices. Let me tell you something. If your life feels too easy, you ain't growing. If you don't feel challenged, if you don't feel a little scared, a little uncertain, you ain't pushing hard enough. Growth is uncomfortable. Success is uncomfortable, but so is regret. Pick your struggle. Look, you got to force yourself to get out of that comfort zone. Do the thing you're scared of. Make the move you've been avoiding, because the life you want ain't in the comfort zone. It's out there waiting on you to get up and go get it. Now stop playing it safe and go get what's yours. Listen to me, man. Nobody is coming to save you. I know that's hard to hear, but it's the truth. You sitting around waiting for somebody to come fix your life, waiting for somebody to give you an opportunity, waiting for the perfect moment, the right person, the right situation. You're going to be waiting forever. Ain't nobody coming, not your friends, not your family, not your boss, not the government, nobody. If you want something different, you got to get up and go get it yourself. See, the problem is most people spend their whole lives waiting. They're waiting for someone to believe in them, waiting for a sign, waiting for somebody to notice their talent, to hand them success on a silver platter. That ain't how life works. Look, if you sitting around thinking somebody gonna feel sorry for you, come scoop you up and change your life for you, you already lost. Because while you waiting, somebody else is out there making moves. Somebody else is working while you making excuses. Somebody else is grinding while you hoping, and they're gonna pass you up. You ever notice how the most successful people are the ones who take responsibility for their own lives? They don't wait for permission. They don't sit around blaming their parents, their past, their circumstances. They get up and make things happen. See, life is unfair. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. Some people start with more than you. Some people get lucky. Some people have connections, money, privilege. But so what? Are you going to sit there complaining, or are you going to figure out a way? Let me tell you something. If you keep waiting for somebody to come help you, you will never move. And that's exactly how life traps you. You blink and years go by, you still in the same spot, still talking about what you're gonna do, still waiting on some miracle, and time don't care. Look, you don't need nobody to give you permission to be great. You don't need approval. You don't need somebody to say, okay, now you can go chase your dreams. The only person you need is you. See, life is like an elevator. Some people are meant to ride with you to the top, but others, they got to get off at a certain floor, and that's okay. Everybody ain't meant to go where you going, but if you keep trying to take the wrong people with you, they gonna weigh you down. And let's be real, some of y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. You got friends who ain't got no ambition, no vision, no plans for the future. Every time you talk to them, it's the same old story. They ain't trying to grow, ain't trying to improve, just stuck in the same place year after year. And because you love them, because you're loyal, you keep making yourself smaller just to fit in. But listen, loyalty should never cost you your future. If being in that circle is keeping you from becoming the best version of yourself, then it's time to step back. You ain't got to make a big announcement. You ain't got to cut people off in a dramatic way, but you need to protect your space. Now, let me ask you, who's in your circle? Are they challenging you? Are they inspiring you? Are they making you think bigger? Because if not, you might be in the wrong crowd. See, the right people will push you to be better. They'll hold you accountable. They won't let you settle. They'll tell you the truth even when it's hard to hear. And yeah, sometimes that's uncomfortable, but growth is uncomfortable. And if your circle ain't helping you grow, it's time to find a new one. Some of y'all are scared to do that because you don't want to be alone. But let me tell you something. Being alone while you work on yourself is better than being surrounded by people who are holding you back. Sometimes you got to take a season of isolation to level up, and that's okay. Use that time to develop new habits, to build your confidence, to find out what you really want. And when you start operating at a high level, you'll naturally attract better people. See, success has a frequency. If you're thinking bigger, moving smarter, working harder, guess what? You're going to start crossing paths with people who are doing the same thing. And those are the people who will help take you to the next level. Now, I ain't saying you got to cut off everybody and act brand new, but what I am saying is you got to be intentional about who you let speak into your life. If all you hear is negativity, doubt, and complaining, that stuff is going to seep into your mindset. But if you surround yourself with winners, with people who are chasing greatness, that energy is contagious. At the end of the day, it comes down to one thing. Do your relationships reflect where you're going or where you've been? Because if you want to reinvent yourself, you can't keep hanging around folks who only know the old version of you. So take a look at your circle, make the necessary changes, and watch how your life starts to shift. Let me tell y'all something. Success ain't about luck, talent, or waiting for the right moment. It's about habits. The small things you do every single day, that's what determines where you end up in life. See, most people think success is some big overnight transformation, but it ain't. It's the result of daily discipline, daily effort, and daily choices. You don't just wake up one day successful, you build it one habit at a time. But the problem is, most folks want to change their life without changing their habits. They want to be in shape, but don't want to eat right. They want to build wealth, but don't want to budget. They want to chase their dreams, but keep wasting time scrolling on their phone. Listen, your habits are either pushing you forward or holding you back. And if you ain't careful, the little things you do every day will keep you stuck in the same place year after year. See, success ain't about what you do once in a while. It's about what you do consistently. It don't matter if you go to the gym once a month. It don't matter if you work on your goals once in a while. What matters is what you do every single day, because that's what adds up. Now, I ain't saying it's going to be easy. Changing your habits is hard. You're going to want to quit. You're going to feel uncomfortable. But listen, discomfort is part of the process. If it were easy, everybody would be doing it. That's why most folks stay stuck, because they ain't willing to be consistent when it gets tough. And let's be real. Some of y'all already know what you need to do. You know the habits that are holding you back. You know you should be waking up earlier, managing your money better, spending less time around negative people. But instead of making the change, you keep making excuses. I'm too tired. I don't have time. I start next week. And then you look up a year later and nothing has changed. Let me ask you, how bad do you really want it? Because if you're serious about reinventing yourself, if you're serious about leveling up, then you got to start acting like it. That means being disciplined, even when you don't feel like it. That means waking up and putting in the work, even when nobody's watching. That means doing the right thing, even when it's hard. See, people love talking about motivation. But let me tell you something. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is what keeps you going. You ain't always going to feel like it. You ain't always going to be inspired. But if you build the right habits, you won't need to rely on motivation. Your habits will carry you. And here's the thing. Small habits lead to big results. You ain't got to change everything overnight. Just start with one habit. Wake up 30 minutes earlier. Read 10 pages of a book. Save a little money every week. Work on your goals for just an hour a day. It might not seem like much at first, but over time, it adds up. But you got to be patient. See, most people quit because they don't see instant results. They go to the gym for a week, don't see no six-pack and give up. They start a business, don't make money right away and quit. Listen, results take time. But if you stay consistent, if you keep showing up, if you trust the process, I promise you, your future self will thank you. And let me tell you something else. When you start building better habits, some people ain't going to like it. Oh, yeah, they're going to say, oh, you different now. Why you working so hard? Why you always reading, always grind? Ignore them. Because the same folks laughing at you now, they're going to be the same ones asking how you did it later. At the end of the day, your habits will make or break you. So the question is, are your daily habits leading you closer to the life you want, or are they keeping you stuck? Because success ain't magic. It ain't luck. It's a daily decision. So make the decision. Build the habits, stay consistent, and watch how your life starts to change. Let me tell y'all something. If you let other people's doubts control you, you'll never get anywhere in life. Some of y'all are sitting on dreams, sitting on ideas, sitting on potential, all because you're too worried about what somebody else thinks. Let me ask you, why do they get to decide how far you go? Why do their opinions matter more than your future? See, people are going to talk no matter what you do. You could be playing it safe, staying in your lane, minding your business, and somebody's still going to have something to say. So if they're going to talk anyway, you might as well do what's best for you. Now, I get it. Nobody likes to be doubted. Nobody likes to be laughed at. But you got to understand, people doubt what they don't understand. When you start thinking bigger, when you start stepping outside the box, when you start chasing something bigger than what they can see, it makes them uncomfortable. And instead of dealing with their own fears, instead of facing their own limitations, they project that doubt onto you. You sure you want to do that? You think that's a good idea? What if it don't work? Man, what if it does? See, most people ain't doubting you because you can't do it. They doubting you because they can't see themselves doing it. And you got to learn how to separate their fears from your future. Just because they scared, just because they gave up on their own dreams, don't mean you got to do the same. And let's be real, some of the loudest doubters, they ain't never tried to do nothing great in their life, ain't never taken a risk, ain't never stepped out on faith, ain't never bet on themselves, but they got the most to say about what you doing. How that work? See, it's always the folks on the sidelines trying to tell the players how to win the game. But guess what? They ain't in the game. They don't know what it takes. They don't know the work, the sacrifice, the faith that goes into it. So let me ask you, why are you letting people with no vision talk you out of yours? Why are you letting folks who ain't never built nothing convince you that you can't build something? Why are you giving them that power? Listen, you got to learn how to tune them out. When you're on a mission, when you're chasing something bigger, you got to put your blinders on. You got to stay focused, because if you spend all your time trying to prove people wrong, trying to convince people to believe in you, you're wasting energy that you should be putting into your dream. Let them doubt. Let them talk. Your job ain't to argue. It's to keep moving forward. And here's the truth. Some of y'all ain't just dealing with doubt from others. You doubting yourself. You got that voice in your head telling you, maybe they right. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe this ain't for me. That voice ain't nothing but fear disguised as logic. And if you listen to it, it'll keep you stuck in the same place for the rest of your life. But let me remind you, you were built for more. If you weren't capable, if you weren't meant to do it, the idea wouldn't have come to you in the first place. See, God don't put dreams in people who ain't got the ability to achieve them. So if he gave you the vision, that means you got everything you need inside you to make it happen. But you got to believe it, because if you don't believe in you, who will? Now, here's the part nobody tells you. When you push past the doubt, when you succeed in spite of it, those same people who doubted you, oh, they're going to act like they supported you the whole time. They're going to be the first ones saying, I always knew you could do it. I knew you had something special. But you remember, they wasn't with you in the struggle. They wasn't with you when you were fighting through the doubt, pushing past the fear. So don't do it for them. Do it for you. Do it because you deserve the life you're working for. Do it because you refuse to let doubt be the reason you don't reach your full potential. At the end of the day, people going to doubt you no matter what. But the question is, are you going to let that stop you? Because if you really want it, if you really believe in it, you got to be willing to keep going no matter what they say. You think people are born fearless? No. They just learned that the only way to get past fear is to go through it. Look, you can let fear control you, or you can force yourself to move. You can let doubt hold you back, or you can push past it. But if you waiting for fear to disappear, waiting for the perfect moment where you feel 100% ready, you're going to be waiting forever. You scared? Good. That means you're about to grow. You got doubts? Good. That means you're about to step into something bigger than you imagined. Don't run from that. Run toward it, because fear don't stop successful people. It stops everybody else. God already gave you everything you need. He put the talent, the vision, the strength inside of you, but he ain't going to do the work for you. You got to step out on faith, because at the end of the day, success ain't given, it's taken. Now get up and go get what's yours. Listen to me, man. God gave you everything you need. See, too many people out here walking around like they missing something, like they ain't got what it takes, like they need somebody to come give them permission to be great. That's a lie. You already got it. Everything you need to win, everything you need to succeed, everything you need to go to the next level, God already put it inside you. But see, most people don't believe that. They're looking around, comparing themselves to everybody else. thinking, man, if I had what they had, I'd be winning too. If I had their talent, if I had their money, if I had their connections. Excuses. You don't need what they got. You need to use what you got. See, the problem ain't that you missing something. The problem is you ain't using what you already got. You sitting on gifts, sitting on talents, sitting on ideas that could change your life, but instead of moving, you doubting yourself. Instead of building, you complaining. Instead of stepping into your purpose, you sitting back waiting for somebody to come tell you you ready. Let me tell you something, you already ready, you've been ready. The only thing missing is you believing it and moving on it. You ever notice how people with half your talent, half your skill, half your knowledge somehow keep passing you up? You sitting there thinking, man, I could do that better than them. So why ain't you doing it? Why are you still sitting on your gift? Why are you still letting doubt talk you out of your destiny? See, God don't make mistakes. If he put a dream in your heart, if he gave you a vision, that means you got what it takes to make it happen. But he ain't going to do it for you. That part is on you. Look, you ever see a farmer praying for a harvest, but he ain't planting no seeds? That don't make sense, right? You can't sit there and ask God for a blessing when you ain't even moving on what he already gave you. You got to meet him halfway. You want more, you got to use what you got first. You got to take what's already in your hands and start moving with it. You think your gift is too small? You think what you got ain't enough? It's enough. But you got to work it, you got to build it. Look, people out here wasting time begging for opportunities when they should be preparing for them. They out here waiting for a big break, but they ain't even using the small opportunities in front of them. That's why they stay stuck. See, God don't bless wasted talent. He don't elevate people who refuse to move. He don't open doors for folks who too scared to walk through them. You got to show him you ready. You scared? Move anyway. You unsure? Move anyway. You don't have all the answers? Move anyway. Because let me tell you something. You got everything you need. You got the ability, you got the strength, you got the mind, the heart, the grind. Now it's time to use it. God already did his part. Now do yours. Because at the end of the day, success ain't given, it's taken. Listen to me, man. You gotta keep going no matter what. Life is gonna hit you. It's gonna knock you down. It's gonna test you in ways you never expected. But you can't quit. You can't fold. You can't let one bad season make you throw away everything you've been working for. See, most people don't fail because they ain't talented. They don't fail because they ain't smart. They fail because they give up too soon. They hit one setback and say, maybe this ain't for me. They go through one tough moment and decide it's easier to stop trying. But let me tell you something. Everything you want is on the other side of keep going. See, success ain't about how fast you get there. It ain't about how smooth the road is. It's about whether or not you keep moving. You ever wonder why some people make it and some people don't? It ain't because the ones who made it had an easier path. No, they went through hell too. They had failures, disappointments, heartbreaks, but they didn't quit. That's the only difference. Look, everybody gets tired, everybody gets discouraged, everybody has moments where they feel like it ain't working, but the ones who make it, they push through. Think about it. If you stop now, where you gonna be? Right back where you started. Right back at square one, looking at everybody else who kept going. And you gonna regret it. You gonna wish you pushed a little harder, stayed in the fight a little longer. See, God ain't bring you this far just to leave you. He didn't put this dream in your heart just for you to walk away from it. You gotta trust the process. You gotta believe that everything you going through is preparing you for the blessing that's coming. But most folks don't see it that way. They think struggle means stop. No, struggle means you getting closer. If it was easy, everybody would have it. If it didn't take sacrifice, everybody would be successful. You ever seen somebody digging for gold and they stop just inches away from striking it? That's what most people do. They put in the work. They fight through the hard times. But right when they're about to break through, they quit. And they never realize how close they were. Don't let that be you. Keep going. It ain't gonna be easy. It ain't gonna happen overnight, but if you keep showing up, if you keep putting in the work, if you keep moving forward, even on the days when you don't feel like it, you will get there. Because the only way to fail is to quit. God already gave you what you need. He already put the strength in you. Now it's time to use it. Because at the end of the day, success ain't given, it's taken. Listen to me, man. This is your moment. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Ain't nobody gonna hand you success. You gotta take it. You gotta push past your feelings, push past your fears, and move anyway. You already got everything you need. God put it inside you. Now it's time to use it. The road ain't gonna be easy. There will be setbacks, struggles, moments where you feel like quitting. But remember this, the only way you fail is if you stop. So don't stop. Don't back down. Keep moving. Because every step you take, every time you push through, you're getting closer to everything you've been praying for. You've come too far to quit now. This is your time. So stand up, believe in yourself, and go get what's yours. Good luck and thank you.